Let's talk about GTA 6 today. First, let me recap basics if you are not aware. GTA 6 is taking us back to Vice City, and for the first time in the series, we're getting a female protagonist. The game follows two main characters, Lucia and her male partner, who many believe is named Jason, though Rockstar hasn't officially confirmed his name yet. They're being set up as a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde duo, partners in both crime and romance. From what we've seen in the trailer, Lucia starts her journey in prison wearing an orange jumpsuit. We don't know exactly what landed her behind bars, but it seems like this might be where her story begins. There's that memorable moment where someone asks her why she's doing this, and she simply replies, "Bad luck, I guess." This suggests she might see crime as her only option after being released. Once out of prison, Lucia reunites with her partner, and they embark on a crime spree across Vice City. The trailer shows them robbing stores, breaking into places, and generally causing chaos throughout the sun-soaked Florida-inspired setting. Their relationship seems to be a central part of the story, mixing romance with the thrill of their criminal lifestyle. The Bonnie and Clyde inspiration is pretty clear. They're lovers on the run, willing to do whatever it takes to make money and stay together. This dynamic is something entirely new for the GTA series, which has typically focused on solo protagonists or groups of friends, rather than romantic partners. Rockstar seems to be crafting a story about two people pushed to the edge, turning to crime either out of necessity or because they enjoy the rush. The trailer shows them planning heists, counting money, and evading police together, suggesting we'll get to experience their entire journey from small-time robberies to bigger, more elaborate scores. The real Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow were notorious criminals who operated during the Great Depression in the early 1930s. Their story might give us some interesting clues about where GTA 6's narrative could be heading. Bonnie and Clyde's crime spree wasn't as glamorous as Hollywood often portrays it. They were essentially small-time robbers who targeted gas stations, small stores, and sometimes banks. What made them famous was their romantic relationship and their ability to evade authorities for so long despite the massive manhunt. Their backstory is particularly relevant when thinking about GTA 6. Clyde had already been imprisoned before meeting Bonnie, and his experiences in jail reportedly hardened him. This parallels what we're seeing with Lucia starting in prison in the GTA 6 trailer. Like Clyde, her time behind bars might be a driving force for her character development and motivations. The Great Depression played a huge role in the real duo's story. They operated in a time of economic desperation. GTA games often reflect contemporary economic issues, so we might see Lucia and her partner driven to crime by financial necessity in a modern context, perhaps following an economic crash or personal financial ruin. The most notable aspect of the real Bonnie and Clyde story is its violent conclusion. After a 2-year crime spree, they were ambushed and killed in a hail of bullets by law enforcement in Louisiana. The police fired about 130 rounds into their car, ending their story in one of the most famous shootouts in American criminal history. This infamous ending could hint at a potentially dark conclusion for GTA 6. Rockstar doesn't shy away from tragic endings. We've seen it in Red Dead Redemption and other titles. The story might build toward a dramatic final stand or betrayal that mirrors the real Bonnie and Clyde's fate. Another interesting parallel is how Bonnie and Clyde became folk heroes of sorts during their time, with some people viewing them as rebels against a system that had failed many Americans. GTA often explores themes of fame in the digital age, so we might see Lucia and her partner becoming social media celebrities or streaming their crimes, adding a modern twist to the famous outlaw concept. The real duo also had a network of family members and friends who helped them, some willingly and others through coercion. This suggests GTA 6 might feature a cast of supporting characters who either help our protagonists or get unwillingly dragged into their criminal lifestyle. If GTA 6 truly follows the Bonnie and Clyde template, we can expect a story about escalation, starting with small crimes that gradually become more serious as the protagonists get more desperate and law enforcement closes in. This would fit perfectly with GTA's traditional mission structure of building toward bigger and more complex heists. In the end, the real Bonnie and Clyde weren't master criminals. They were young, impulsive people making reckless decisions, often driven by love and desperation. This human element might be what Rockstar is aiming to capture in GTA 6's storyline, potentially creating their most character-driven narrative yet. Rockstar Games has built a reputation for crafting some of the most compelling narratives in gaming, and their approach to storytelling has evolved in interesting ways over the years. When we look back at the earlier GTA titles, they started with somewhat simpler crime stories. GTA 3 gave us a silent protagonist seeking revenge, while Vice City and San Andreas expanded the narrative scope with more character development and cultural commentary. These games established Rockstar's talent for creating memorable characters and weaving social satire into their stories. GTA 4 marked a shift toward more serious storytelling, with Niko Bellic's tale of an immigrant seeking the American dream, but finding corruption and violence instead. The tone was darker, the consequences felt weightier, and the narrative explored themes of disillusionment and moral compromise in ways previous games hadn't. Then came GTA 5, which introduced the three-protagonist structure and balanced its satirical elements with more complex character arcs. The game explored themes of friendship, betrayal, and the corrupting influence of wealth and fame, all against the backdrop of a post-recession America obsessed with social media and celebrity culture. Outside the GTA series, Red Dead Redemption and its sequel showed Rockstar's ability to tell more mature, emotionally resonant stories. Arthur Morgan's journey in RDR2 is arguably their most nuanced character study yet, with themes of redemption, loyalty, and facing the consequences of one's actions. So what does all this tell us about GTA 6? Based on Rockstar's evolution, we can probably expect a story that's more character-driven than ever before. The Bonnie and Clyde dynamic suggests a focus on the relationship between Lucia and her partner, likely exploring how their personal connection influences their criminal activities. Rockstar has always excelled at creating products of their time, stories that reflect and satirize contemporary culture. GTA 6 will likely comment on modern issues like wealth inequality, social media influence, and the gig economy. The Florida-inspired setting opens up possibilities for stories about immigration, climate change, and America's political divides. One thing that's remained consistent through Rockstar's evolution is their love of the tragic arc. From CJ's family struggles, to Niko's haunted past, to Arthur Morgan's journey, their protagonists often face bittersweet conclusions. For GTA 6, this might mean our duo won't ride off into the sunset together. There could be betrayal, sacrifice, or a last stand against overwhelming odds. What's interesting about the dual protagonist approach is how it might allow Rockstar to explore different perspectives simultaneously. They could show contrasting motivations for turning to crime. Perhaps Lucia is driven by necessity while her partner seeks the thrill, creating tension in their relationship. Ultimately, Rockstar's storytelling has always worked best when it balances the outrageous action and satire with genuine human moments. GTA 6 will likely continue this tradition, giving us spectacular heists and wild escapes alongside quiet moments that reveal who these characters really are beneath their criminal personas. Whatever direction they take, based on their track record, we can expect a story that pushes interactive narrative forward while delivering the blend of cultural commentary, character development, and pure entertainment that has made Rockstar's stories so memorable. Now looking at Rockstar's storytelling patterns, betrayal is practically a guarantee in GTA 6. Almost every major Rockstar game features significant betrayal as a plot point, and it's often central to how their stories unfold. In GTA 4, Niko was ultimately betrayed by Dimitri, setting up the game's climactic choice. GTA 5 featured betrayals on multiple levels. We saw Trevor and Michael's fractured relationship over past betrayals, and characters like Devin Weston and Steve Haynes constantly manipulating our protagonists. Going back even further, games like Vice City and San Andreas built their emotional stakes around characters being double-crossed. The Bonnie and Clyde inspiration makes betrayal even more likely for GTA 6. While the real duo remained loyal to each other, they were often betrayed by associates or people they thought they could trust. If Rockstar follows this historical thread, we might see Lucia and her partner remain loyal to each other, while facing betrayal from their criminal contacts or supposed allies. But there's another interesting possibility. What if one of them betrays the other? Romantic criminal partnerships are inherently unstable, and Rockstar might explore the tension between love and self-preservation. As for multiple endings, this has become increasingly common in Rockstar's games. Grand Theft Auto 4 offered different conclusion paths based on player choice, while Grand Theft Auto 5 had 3 distinct finale options. Red Dead Redemption 2 had endings that varied based on player honor and specific choices. For GTA 6, multiple endings seem highly likely, especially with 2 protagonists. We might see endings where both characters survive and escape together, the hopeful ending. One sacrifices themselves so the other can go free, the bittersweet ending. They betray each other, with one or both ending up dead or in prison, the tragic ending. They're cornered by law enforcement and go out in a blaze of glory, the Bonnie and Clyde ending. The prison scene in the trailer could also be a clue. Perhaps one ending involves Lucia returning to prison to serve time while her partner escapes, or maybe it's a flash forward showing the consequences of their actions, regardless of which path players choose. What makes this especially interesting is how player choices might influence these endings. Rockstar has been gradually incorporating more meaningful player decisions in their games. In GTA 6, we might see choices about which heists to undertake, how violent to be during missions, or whether to prioritize money or safety affecting how the story concludes. One thing's for sure. If Rockstar follows their usual pattern, even the good ending will likely come with some cost. Their stories rarely conclude with pure victories, instead offering complicated resolutions that reflect the morally gray worlds their characters inhabit. Given everything we know about Rockstar's narrative style and the Bonnie and Clyde inspiration, I'd say Betrayal is almost certain to feature prominently, and multiple endings based on key player decisions seem highly likely for GTA 6. And we are done. Let me know in the comments, what are your expectations from this game? Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.